About what we perceive as punishment and atonement. Life being eternal and grace being infinite. What you reap is what you sow, right? So I've learned to be calm because life's eternal, grace is infinite. If people are meant to have bodies to live in the kingdom of heaven, the spirit, the the body will be provided for the spirit to live in the kingdom of heaven, right? You just understand that when your mom dies from cancer because of murder from chemical poisoning and science projects, and other people in the family do, praying to Jesus, and you're the one who's most like Jesus on the planet, but he's a cartoon character for a genocidal corporation. And, so when you look at that, and then, you pit people, well, what about your kids? What about your ex-wives? What about that? Everybody knows that, I was a good husband, and they weren't good wives, and they cheated and they lie and they still do. And now they have to live with people that accept money instead of the Lord's Prayer, that accept cheating and lying and voting for cheating and lying over the Lord's Prayer. Isn't that punishment enough? Isn't that atonement enough? I mean, shit. Sure. Well, I saw a little thing on Natalie's YouTube, and it's about pregnancy stuff. And it's 27. Well, that's a good time to start having a kid. I was, no, I was, how old was I? 23 when Patrick got, when Patrick was born. Yeah. I was 23 because it was March 11th, right? 1991. And then I turned 24 in 1992. Is that right? I think so. I don't know. I don't think about my time frame too much. I know it's 1991 was when Patrick was born. And I was born in 66. Oh, shit. No, I was... wasn't I? Let me see. I was born in 66. July 19th, 1966. Patrick was born March 11th, 1991. Oh, wait a minute, 91. Okay, then I was 25, right? No. No. We got out of the service. Mom died, and I was 27, but we lived there for 2 years. So I was 27. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. My math, I'm like going boom, 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 boom. 91, 66. So isn't that 5 years? 4 with the, I'll figure it out later. No, I'm not, all this, he's a math genius. Just go like this and that. Yeah, I know. I still, how old? Yeah. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. That's the truth. Your brain working on math, here's your Kim Peek. That's all I got to say to you. Kim Peek. Right? Yeah, people like that, it's very essential that happens. It's very essential that you're aware of reality. Life is eternal, grace is infinite, and what we reap is what we sow, and we are what you do. That makes math a lot easier to do. West Indian Archie. You get these folks, they be like that, you're like, damn, you try to explain everything to them, and the ego is a big problem, and it's most of your problems. I'm affected by your problems, but I'm not part of the problem, like old Chief Gilliard, you're the part of the solution or part of the problem. It's not really necessary to be a solution to the problem as long as you understand how not to be the problem. And so then you have a lot less solutions. Solutions are to make you feel important. Understanding what's important keeps us from having problems to solutions to problems. And that's wonderful. And that's where I think most people need to try to be. Humility is really cool. And, this sounds a lot like Krishnamurti. Yeah, sure does. Right? And, as far as the connections to Stephanie and Patrick and Amy and the kids and stuff, I adore them. I completely adore them. Their selfishness and their fear, I'm one of the most beautiful men of all time. I was in their lives and asking for them to help me do this and step up. And, when they had positions, when Noah got hit and the money into, I told him get off the grid. And I wasn't telling him come here. I said, you ought to listen to mom, maybe go down to Cochise County, go to Bisbee. Don't do the coffee shop thing. Don't get into a business venture, but just manage your money well and be frugal and then get jobs and then sustain yourselves outside of that carbon emission cesspool that is Phoenix, and get yourself into a smaller community. They're good, like what Natalie's doing, that would work great in Cochise County and stuff. But that's what I tried to, and then just got all kinds of resistance and shit. But I know that that's from the scientific community that is focused in Cochise County. There's a bunch of jealous pricks that are, so I know them. So they come up and expose themselves to me, and I'm like, oh God, I don't want to see this. And it was horrible because Jesus kept asking me that, you ready for this? No. No. Psychologically, when everything started coming at me, when Mark came from the Bush family with the CIA connections and started telling me about, why George Bush acted like he did, what they did, what was going on, how the sex trafficking network through the cartels and stuff worked. And I'm like, God dang, this is horrible, right? And I knew somebody had to get up and do something to stop it. And I knew I was the only one that would. And so I did. It's a lonely feeling when all this crap's going on and everybody's bought into it or trapped into it because of their dirty deeds done dirt cheap, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And so you're like, fuck, no, then no one's getting, and Alan was right, Barack Obama's not going to help you. He's a politician. And I was like, well, no, when they start manipulating, they don't understand what the word sacrifice means. I heard somebody say bathtub. Okay, bathtub. Okay, we'll act like we're in a bathtub, right? And so they don't know what the word sacrifice means. And the sacrifice doesn't mean you have to commit suicide or be murdered by psychopaths. It just means that you have to understand the life of sacrifice. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. You die so your children and grandchildren may live. But then they say it's selfish because you share molecular structures in spirit. Yeah, but if you're faithful, the world you live in with your relatives in temples of molecular structures for the soul is a wonderful place. Love is a wonderful thing when a boy's in love. And like Pascal said, the triangle, the Trinity, the whole, so it's the fool's wager. If you wager that there is a God and faith in God is perfect, then you do that. And then everything is living is a dream when you make it seem enchanted, enchanted. Lovers take for granted all the world's aglow. You ought to know. And so that's what happens. But if you reject it, then you're in eternal wretchedness because it's not infinite wretchedness. I had to explain it to my dad. No, we're all saying, no, Dad, eternal means there is a beginning and an end. Okay, it's just that it lasts past you, like your physical existence. Okay, infinite. Don't try to grasp at the finite. It'll give you eternal wretchedness. So eternal wretchedness is once you deny faith in infinite glory, you pass it on, and then you, in spirit, will inherit it eternally through sexual reproduction, not holy covenants. Right. So it's just basic math and science. It's not that hard. But okay, how old was I when Patrick was born? I was 22 when and then Miriam was 23. I'm pretty sure I was 23 when Patrick was born and then turned 24 that summer. I think so. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because I was 24 the summer of 1990. So I turned 25 then, right? So I was 24 when Patrick was born. Thank you, all you mathletes out there. Thank you, mathletes. Okay, thanks, mathletes. So I was 24 because I was in an even year and he was born in an odd year. That's all you have to do. Just go, okay. So I was 24 and then turned 25 that summer. Suddenly, last summer. Okay. Only the lonely can play. Boom, boom. I get I have brain injuries from abuse. And, like Einstein with the shoe tying thing and stuff like that. And I have so much abuse from jealous, aggressive people. It's really hard. I have to carry a lot of weight. I have to protect billions and billions of people from genocide with one Samsung Galaxy 10 and 2 cell phone towers, and home internet on T-Mobile. And a little bit of soap will never wash away my tears. I got to put that on the MP3. Anybody else like a little? I just think it was the Drifters, and it's not. It's another group. A little bit of soap. I used to think it was Benny King and the Drifters, but it wasn't like I used to think that Galleries, It's So Nice to Be With You was what's his face? Neil Diamond. I thought that was Neil Diamond. And I thought everybody thought Terry Stafford was Elvis. Suspicion torments my heart. Suspicion says, why torture me? Baby, if you love me, tell me that you... We all thought that was Elvis, and just about everybody and their mama, and me and the Navajo guy at Musicland at Christown Mall. We all thought the Dave Clark 5 was the Beatles, right? Give me one kiss and I'll be happy. Not all of us, but a lot of us, right? That's the Beatles. No, it's not. It's Dave Clark 5. That's Elvis. No, that's Terry Stafford. That's Neil Diamond. That's Gallery. Baby, you and me. Sounds a little bit like Neil Diamond. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do. And it's so nice to hear you say, you're gonna please me in every way. Baby, I got the notion you cause a commotion in my soul. Right? And I think a lot of people thought that was Neil Diamond, right? No? Okay. Just like I thought Robert Palmer was Hamilton Joe freaking Reynolds. Takes every kind of people, bump, 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 on bass line. I thought it was, baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love again. You and me for eternity. In love we'll always be. Right? Don't pour your love out on me, baby. If you do, then I think that maybe I'll just lay me down. Cry for 100 years. Good tunes, right? I got them on the MP3. Yeah. Doesn't that mean love to you? Doesn't that mean anything? If I threw away my pride and I got down on my knees? I think so. I'll have to look them up. Look upon the blue one and say, hey, do I got Don't Pull Your Love Out by Hamilton Joe freaking Reynolds? And I also need a little bit of soap. I don't know who sings that. Like I didn't know it was Johnny Hebb or whatever that sings Sunny. I went and looked it up. It's okay, the Classics 4. And I went and listened to this. That's not the one I want. What's this Heb dude? Okay, put that. That's the one. That's the name of that song, and that's the guy I like who sings it the best. Yeah. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. You gave to me your all in all, and now I feel 10 feet tall. Sunny, one so blue. I love lots of people sing. Nancy Wilson sings it, but I like Mr. Hebb's version the best. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like with the, Since I Lost My Baby. I just not down with the whole Luther Vandross version. I love the Temps. Oh my gosh. The sun is shining. There's plenty of light. Doo-doo. Don't you everybody love Eddie Kendrick's background? Right. But that doesn't mean they're nice people. Okay. Eternal wretchedness. Like we started talking out about the first when we started this whole dissertation here. Right. Eternal wretchedness. Okay. People can have beautiful voices. Be the biggest fuck around. Low self-esteem, no self-esteem, try to build their self-esteem off of other people, making other people smell fall. Miles Davis with Cicely Tyson, and you think Cicely Tyson's a nice person, and then you offended me. Oh, God damn, it's Professor Hendricks all over again, right? Civil rights. And the one little girl, she was so cute. The little dark black girl talked to me about Pac. He got murdered. She was all, no, they killed him. And so, no, he was, I was like, well, and I'm all, well, John Singleton was one of his best friends and said, he was doing shit he shouldn't be doing. And that's what got him killed. I just thought, I was just hanging out with the P. Diddy's and the Suge Knights and all that. And but they didn't give him any other course of action. His mom was men that were militants like the Black Panther Party and stuff like that. So his whole life was just survival, you know, with his charisma. That's what he used to try to survive it. Me, I underachieved, and I underachieved horrifically until they got me into Cochise County and said, exposure! And I said, it's time to kick that ass. Jawbone of an ass. See, they don't understand that. And that's why I say I'm pretty certain that artificial general intelligence is the jawbone of an ass. And unbeknownst to them, I think it's because of the bad brain activity. And the more they put bad brain activity, the Flash Gordon, the Star Wars, the Star Trek, and they keep indoctrinating people with bad brain activity. And the more irrational thinking you have, the more it affects you that are trying to implement it to be the merciless, right? And I'm pretty certain, yeah, makes sense. Okay, I was 24 when Patrick was born and then turned 25 that summer, right? Anybody else like the most suddenly last summer? My favorite is Only the Lonely, but I do like that song too. Yeah. Only the lonely can tell. She has nice lips. Yeah, she does. And they put all the lipstick on it to make you like Jennifer Lopez doing I Could Fall in Love, lip syncing I Could Fall in Love on the Selena movie. Yeah, it's like, whoa, wow, she's got nice lips like Jane Eugene. Yeah. Okay. It's a lot of girls do. Okay. A lot of guys can sing. A lot of guys can play basketball. Yeah. Yep. Pretty girls come a dime a dozen, try to find one who's going to give you true love, and nobody stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Eternal wretchedness it is. Hey, who's the best basketball? Nah, I still think this is just the way they changed the game and the way they raised Wembanyama to play. I think Samson was better. I've watched them both play. Samson was more athletic, equally as quick, an inch shorter, okay? Better ball handler, okay? He could shoot from outside, but they just didn't want him to do it, right? But it was probably a good idea if he did stretch the floor because he was only about 215 to 20 pounds and he was 7'4". And the other guys would beat him up in the block and push him around and hurt him. And so if he had stretched the floor and they coached more intelligently, he'd been able to, and then, you teach him the mid-range. Who's going to stop his mid-range? No one. Okay, no one. The man had a 38-inch vertical leap, and he was 7'4". Okay. Yeah, he could jump if he needed to. And you shouldn't have had him do it too much because you really need him to. He was so big, and he was so athletic and so quick, and he could just get to the spot and then just gauge you and block it. And you'd have to throw it way up. I'm the type of person you'd have to come out and so I knew I would know exactly where would you believe missed it by that much, and Ralph would go, damn, Earl. Every time. Yeah. I know the apex of your leap. When you come out, I'm gonna block this little motherfucker like you did Kareem's hook shot, but you wouldn't block mine. It would go way up and do splash. Damn, you're good. That's what I'd tell him too. Damn, Ralph. Shit. Man, I have to hit the top of the arena to shoot over you, bro. You're so damn good. Shit. It's crazy. Shooting over that man is crazy. Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. Oh man. He blocked Kareem's hook shot, guys. My head hit the roof. I was so excited. One of these days, he's an offensive foul. He puts his arm out. There's somebody is going to block his hook shot, and I'm going to live to see it. And I did. I was watching a Rockets-Lakers game, and Kareem did it. But Kareem was gracious about it. He really was. He was Ed Bradley about it, He was gracious about it. He sat there and looked at, he did the same thing that people did to me. Why don't you do that every time? I'm just trying to have fun. I just want to get my girl, go back home, live in the mountains, have kids, and, make snow angels, eat a whole thing of Tall House cookie dough. Hey, me like that, yeah. And then snuggle. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Was it a Cancer who wrote the script to Elf? I wonder. Nida mía, no quiero saber. But yeah, it's funny. But I'm a homebody, man. That's just always been that way. I'm not asking everybody to be so. If you need to be somewhere to do something because you have expertise and other people don't quite understand it too good, if you absolutely have to be somewhere, go there. But be the traveling Wilburys, Don't be, out to no good when you people in your neighborhood. I got one little fight. My mom got scared. You go in with your uncle and your auntie to Bel Air. Fuck Bel Air. They suck at Bel Air. They're a bunch of rich assholes in Bel Air. Live in a bunch of mobsters' house and auditioning houses that you don't want to go into. Oh, God, people had to have sex with. Oh, tear it down. Start over again. Share a character when Quincy built to last. Even the old places. The Occaldi lived here. Oh, he was a jerk. Yes, they were. Oh, they have secret passages because they were hiding because they killed each other. Okay, so don't just like the secret passages in Ming's castle and all the rest of the castles. They always have all these secret passages because they murder each other and kill each other and hide from each other. They've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. And then when you don't have a place with secret passages, if you're going to kill me, did Jesus have a place with secret passages? No, he had to go through them to get from Bethlehem to Alexandria when he was a baby, but that's not his issue. That's your issue. Okay, I love Suzuki. Yeah, me too. Okay, so you understand. Hogan cycle. Boom. So yeah, as far as atonement goes, being apart from me, the most righteous, beautiful, romantic, protecting, kind, courageous person because you're selfish and afraid. I mean, isn't that hell on earth? Not living the Lord's Prayer, hell on earth, eternal wretchedness, there you go. Not recognizing the truth of the living word of the God, eternal gospels, there you go. So you don't sit there, damn you to hell. We're living there, It's like, why are we living in hell? Because of selfishness and fear. Lie to yourself. Tell yourself you're going to get a magic reward in the sky after you die. And he's just crazy pretending to be like Jesus. He's nothing like Jesus. Jesus is the San Francisco treat. Jesus is not Rice-A-Roni. He's not fucking Rice-A-Roni. Knock it off. You guys are fucking assholes. Okay, you're funny. I'm sorry. You don't even get a copy of our lousy home game, Al, right? I was thinking a lot about that with my goofy-ass friends. Well, the corroded comb. They used to sing that all the time. Mama, don't take my corroded comb away. Don't take my corroded comb. I was like, I don't know if Paul Simon would sign off on that. Do you really think it'd be that funny? It's a little bit old. You got to have a little bit. You got to strike it when you drop it like this. Drop it like when you got to do it. You got to strike when it's new. And well, you could use. I don't know. It has to be a very popular song. Maybe a Sinatra song or something. If you're going to spoof it, maybe Strangers in a Fight. But I don't know. I don't think so. But we could try. You think Frank would sign off on it? Whatever makes money makes sense to Frank. Damn, we should have done Strangers in a Fight. Okay, I'm just kidding her. I'd been held to me. We would have been, I'm sure the Bengals would have signed off like Drive Like a Mexican. And then I would have been able to meet and flirt with Susanna Hoffs. And I wouldn't have. That's true. I'm glad. I can't imagine life without Brian and Aaron and Patrick and if that everything would have changed. Economically, it would change. We wouldn't have had Corey. If we'd got on the Dr. Domino show and got all that money, Said, move away from here. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So we loaded up the truck and we moved to Beverly. And Teresa would be like, this is okay. And getting away from all these losers here in Phoenix and gonna look for losers in LA. Okay. What if one's not a loser and he finds you? Yes, he's a good guy. Yeah. No, my brother-in-law's a good guy. I was thinking about that last night with Dr. Trampy when Trace was, Dr. Trampy's racist. Like, Dr. Trampy's not racist. I had to explain it to her. I don't know, but she's like, he's not racist. He's just old school. And the guy's racist, and he's not disagreeing or agreeing. He's just, okay, whatever. Here, let's do your teeth. Give us your money. Pay the bills. He loves Punchy. And he loves Corey, Dr. Trampy did. He just didn't want to rock the boat and lose a bunch of customers that were old school, bigot customers that don't talk about it in front of Patrice or other people. Trace just didn't understand. He's racist. It's like, he's not racist. He's surviving in hell so you can pay your bills. And if he pulls that old bigot's tooth out and gets $5,000-$10,000 for it and you guys get to pay your bills with it, then he's okay with that. Me? Lord's Prayer, all or nothing at all. Right? After all, I will be the one to hold you in my arms. Right? Morning, Mr. Shoeshine Man. All right. Dummies. Mama's a lush and your daddy's a dummy. You're a bunch of lummies. Lummies. It's okay. I'm the focal point to fix the technology. And you put in artificial general intelligence, so I got the job on of an ass there. I do. Okay, Captain. He called the Enterprise a garbage cow. Okay. It is. We're just moving trash from one place to the other because we live in the Lord's Prayer on Earth. He's right. Damn, the Klingons are right. Yeah, so are the Romulans. I've got your gun, so who cares? Go ahead and shoot me. We're not living the Lord's Prayer on Romulus either. Damn, neither Vulcan nor... No, neither the Vulcans live the Lord's Prayer. Not even T'Pau herself. Okay, guys, I love you. How stupid are they? That's kind of a rhetorical question now. Okay. All right, guys, I love you, all right? Peace.